What if your morning coffee isn't the most important thing you put in your body today? What if there's something else, quiet, simple, maybe even a little unexpected, that could change the way your body feels, moves, and connects, especially in those moments where intimacy and energy matter most? I want to talk to you today not about prescriptions or gimmicks, not about chasing youth or pretending time hasn't passed. I want to talk about the quiet power of morning choices and what they can do, particularly for men over 60 who might have noticed something fading, not just in energy, but in circulation, especially down there. If that phrase makes you flinch a little, that's okay. Most men do, not because it's shameful, but because we've been taught to keep these things quiet, to tough it out, to blame age, maybe to silently wonder, is it just me? Am I broken? But what if I told you that these changes aren't a sign of brokenness? What if they're your body's way of tapping you on the shoulder and whispering, help me, support me, I'm still here and I still want to work for you? I remember one man in particular. His name was Frank, 67 years old, a retired electrician from Ohio, hands like sandpaper and eyes that used to light up when he talked about fishing with his grandson. When Frank came into my office, he wasn't sure he wanted to talk. He fidgeted with his wedding ring, cleared his throat a lot, kept his eyes down. He wasn't there for his heart, his joints, or his cholesterol. Not really. What brought him in eventually was a quiet question he'd been carrying around like a stone in his chest for years. Why don't I feel like myself anymore? Why does everything feel dull? He told me he and his wife Martha still loved each other deeply, but something had changed. He didn't feel the same spark, not just in the bedroom, but in his bones. He'd wake up in the morning and sit on the edge of the bed for 5 minutes before even standing up. And when they did try to connect physically, things just didn't respond. He wasn't in pain. He wasn't sick. But something in him was going quiet, and he didn't know how to ask for help. What I told Frank is what I'll tell you now. In so many cases, this isn't about desire, masculinity, or even hormones. It's about blood flow, circulation. When we talk about vitality down there, we're really talking about whether your blood vessels are doing their job, delivering oxygen, nutrients, life to the places that need it. And after 60, for many men, those blood vessels start to stiffen. They become narrower, less responsive, not broken, just tired, just neglected. See, your body runs on something remarkable called nitric oxide. It's a molecule your blood vessels release to help themselves relax and expand. Think of nitric oxide like a key that unlocks your inner highways. When you were younger, your body produced plenty of it. Blood flowed easily, and energy followed. But as we age, nitric oxide production can drop dramatically, sometimes by more than 50% by the time you hit 60. That means narrower arteries, slower circulation, and yes, reduced response where it matters most. Now here's the good news. Your body still remembers how to make nitric oxide. It just needs the right signals. And the best signal of all? The choices you make in the first hour of your day. That's the window when your body is most ready to listen. It's been fasting. It's attentive. And if you offer it the right kind of nourishment, real, unprocessed, circulation-boosting fuel, it responds. Not in weeks or months, often in days. I told Frank to try something simple. No supplements, no pills. Just 1 glass of warm water, first thing in the morning, with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of cayenne. Then, 10 minutes later, a smoothie made from leafy greens, arugula, spinach, or beetroot, blended with berries and a spoonful of flaxseed. That was it. Nothing fancy. But it worked. Within a week, Frank was standing up faster in the morning. Within 2 weeks, his skin looked brighter. And by the end of the first month, he told me, with a mix of surprise and humility, that things were moving again. Not like they did when he was 25, no, but enough that he felt confident, alive, engaged, reconnected with Martha in a way he hadn't felt in years. This isn't magic, it's biology. It's giving your endothelium, that delicate lining of your blood vessels, the nourishment it craves to produce nitric oxide and open things up. And the foods that do that best, they're not exotic or hard to find. Beets, arugula, celery, spinach, pomegranate, garlic. These are the unsung heroes of male health after 60, especially when eaten first thing in the morning, when your digestive system and bloodstream are most receptive. But it's not just about what you eat. It's also how you begin your day energetically. The men I work with who see the biggest transformations don't just change their diet, they change their rhythm. Instead of jolting awake with caffeine and screens, they give their bodies a moment, a glass of water to rehydrate those tired vessels, a few deep breaths, even just standing by the window for a moment to let the morning light touch their face. All of these things send signals. We're alive, we're listening, we're still moving forward. You see, circulation is not an isolated system. It's woven into everything. Your sleep, your mood, your digestion, your memory, even your sense of purpose. When your blood flows well, everything sharpens. Your thoughts, your reflexes, your libido, your ability to show up fully, even in quiet, ordinary moments. And yet, most men don't hear this. What they get instead are ads promising quick fixes, pills that treat symptoms but ignore the system. And often, deep inside, the sinking belief that this is just what happens when you get old, that loss is inevitable. But I've seen enough men come back to life simply by making consistent, grounded changes to know that this isn't true. The body, even in its 60s, 70s, and 80s, is constantly asking to heal. You just have to give it the raw materials and the patience it deserves. I think about another man, David, who emailed me last year after watching a lecture I gave. He was 72, widowed, living alone in a small town in New Mexico. He said he wasn't looking to get his groove back, as he put it. He just wanted to feel something again. He'd been waking up flat, not depressed, just unlit. No motivation, no real hunger. He said he missed the feeling of anticipation, of having something to look forward to, not just sexually, but spiritually. I told David the same thing I told Frank. Start in the morning. Don't wait for some lightning bolt of motivation. Create a ritual, something gentle, predictable, a way of saying to your body, I still care about you. He began drinking a beetroot and berry smoothie every morning. He started walking to the mailbox instead of driving. He began doing 5 minutes of deep breathing while watching the sun rise through his kitchen window. Small things, ridiculously small. But within 6 weeks, he emailed again to say he'd joined a local hiking group. He said, I'm not sprinting up the hills, but I'm not sitting on the sidelines either. This is what I want for you, not a miracle, not a reversal of time, just movement, just circulation, just the quiet return of energy where it once lived. And yes, especially down there, because that part of your body is not separate from the rest of you. It's not shameful, it's not embarrassing. It's just another place where blood needs to flow, where life needs to reach. And when it does, you'll feel it, not just physically, but emotionally, in your confidence, in your warmth, in the way you smile at your partner or catch your reflection and think, there I am, I'm still here. That's why the morning matters so much. It's your reset button, your daily invitation to direct your health, not react to it. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in a week. You don't need to suffer or deprive yourself. You just need to begin with a few small things that speak the body's language: hydration, movement, light, and nourishment. And this is where the real work starts, not with a diagnosis, but with a choice to no longer accept sluggishness, fog, and disconnection as your new normal. A choice to show up for your body the way it once showed up for you, tirelessly and without question. In the second half of our conversation, I'm going to walk you through what those morning rituals actually look like, what to drink, what to eat, how to move, and how to make it all feel so natural and nourishing that it becomes something you want to do, not something you have to. Because when you do, everything changes, not just your health, but your connection to the people you love and to yourself. So take a breath, take this in, and when you're ready, I'll show you exactly how to bring it to life. Let's begin where we left off, with the quiet but powerful truth that change doesn't need to be loud to be real, especially not at this stage of life. The body isn't asking for intensity or punishment, it's asking for consistency, gentle, steady rituals that restore what's been quietly draining away. And it all starts with that first hour of the morning. So what does that actually look like? What's the real day-to-day version of this circulation-boosting morning we've been talking about? It starts, quite simply, with hydration. A glass of warm water, not cold, not iced, but warm, wakes up your digestive system and encourages blood flow. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon, and you're giving your liver and vascular system a natural kickstart. If you feel bold, add a pinch of cayenne pepper. Why cayenne? Because it contains capsaicin, which helps expand blood vessels and increase circulation. It also gently raises your core temperature and encourages the release of nitric oxide. It might tingle a bit, but that's the point. It's telling your blood, let's go, let's move. 10 minutes later, it's time for nourishment. And this part matters. You're not just feeding your hunger, you're feeding your endothelium, that delicate lining of blood vessels that controls how easily blood flows through your body. And to do that, you need natural nitrates. Not the artificial kind found in processed meats, but the kind found in plants. Leafy greens like arugula, spinach, and kale are powerful nitric oxide boosters. Beets, both raw and cooked, are like circulation superfoods. They widen arteries, reduce stiffness, and help oxygen reach even the smallest capillaries, including the ones that matter most for men's health. So here's what I recommend. Make a simple morning smoothie. A handful of arugula or spinach, half a cooked beet, a few frozen berries for flavor and antioxidants. Maybe a slice of banana or half an avocado for creaminess and potassium. Add water, blend, and sip slowly. Don't gulp it down like medicine. Treat it like a quiet offering to your body. A promise. I'm here. I'm listening. If smoothies aren't your thing, that's okay. You can sauté your greens with eggs, toss a few slices of beet onto whole grain toast with a little olive oil. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. It's the act of feeding your body not just food, but intention. And while you eat, or afterward, move. Not for an hour, not even for 30 minutes, just 10. 10 minutes of walking, stretching, swaying to music in the kitchen. Anything that gets your muscles contracting, because muscle movement is what helps push blood through your veins. Think of it like pumping the brakes on a car that's been sitting in the garage all winter. You're reminding your body that motion is still possible, that energy can still rise, that your legs, hips, and core still carry power, even if they've been quiet lately. If you can, take your movement outside. Let sunlight touch your face, your arms, your chest. Just a few minutes of direct morning light helps regulate your circadian rhythm and stimulate nitric oxide production through the skin. Sunlight also boosts vitamin D, which plays a critical role in hormone regulation, immune health, and yes, sexual function. It's not a coincidence that men who spend more time outdoors often report better sleep, mood, and vitality. And here's something few people talk about: breath. Deep, intentional breathing. Not the shallow kind most of us do while scrolling through our phones or watching TV. I'm talking about slow, nasal breathing. Deep inhales through the nose, held gently, then long, slow exhales through pursed lips. When you breathe like this, you increase carbon dioxide tolerance in the body, which in turn helps dilate blood vessels and improve circulation. It also activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for calm, rest, and intimacy. It tells your body, you're safe, you're grounded, you're ready. Try this for just 5 minutes in the morning. Sit by the window, close your eyes, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Let your belly rise and fall. Let your mind settle. This is not meditation in the spiritual sense, unless you want it to be. It's vascular fitness. It's emotional recalibration. It's a way of showing your nervous system that life doesn't always need to rush. As you practice these things, hydration, nourishment, movement, breath, You may begin to notice subtle shifts. More warmth in your hands and feet, less stiffness when you rise, a stronger sense of connection to your own body. These may seem like small victories, but they are anything but small. They are the building blocks of bigger restoration, of mental clarity, digestive balance, immune strength, and yes, sexual function. And let me say this gently but clearly, there is nothing shameful about wanting to feel desire again. There is nothing unmanly about wanting connection, physical and emotional, with your partner. If anything, it's one of the deepest signs of your vitality, the human need to be close, to be known, to be held. It doesn't end at 60, it doesn't vanish after retirement. In fact, for many, it deepens. But it does require care, attention, a willingness to say, my needs matter, my well-being is worth effort. That's what this morning ritual is about. It's not about youth. It's about dignity, agency, choosing how you want to feel and live in the years ahead, even when the world around you says to shrink, settle, or fade. I've seen what happens when men lean into these changes, not with a sense of desperation, but with curiosity. They begin sleeping better. They lose that afternoon fog. They laugh more, touch more, initiate more. I've even had wives and partners write to me saying, I don't know what he's doing, but he feels more like himself again, more present, more alive. That's the magic of circulation. It's not just a physical shift, it's emotional, relational. It brings you back to the world and to the people who love you. None of this requires perfection. You will have days when the smoothie feels like too much trouble. You'll skip the walk. You'll drink your coffee before your water. That's okay. The point isn't to be flawless, it's to be faithful, to return again and again to the simple truth that your body still wants to serve you. It still wants to flow. It still wants to rise. I think of the older men I've known who carry themselves with quiet energy. They aren't climbing mountains or running marathons, but they move through the world with presence. Eyes clear, shoulders soft. They know who they are, and they've made peace with their bodies, not by giving up, but by showing up. Day after day, glass of water, breathe, stretch, nourish, walk, love. That can be you. Whether you're 61 or 81, whether you're alone or partnered, whether you're healing from loss or rediscovering joy, you can claim this for yourself. One breath, one bite, one morning at a time. And so I leave you with this. If you've made it this far in the video, you've already done something powerful. You've listened. You've opened yourself to the possibility that your best days aren't behind you, that there is still flow in you, still warmth, still touch, still light, and that's no small thing. So tomorrow morning, before the world gets loud, give yourself 10 minutes. Pour the water, squeeze the lemon, breathe, move, feed your vessels, feed your spirit. You don't need a miracle, you just need momentum. And if this video has sparked something in you, some hope, some curiosity, share it. Share it with a friend, a brother, a partner, someone who might be quietly wondering the same things you've been wondering. Let them know they're not alone. Because this isn't about age, it's about aliveness. And that's something you can choose every morning from here on out. This is Dr. Camila Cruz, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me. You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve connection. You deserve a life that circulates with energy, clarity, and love. I hope you'll begin right now, right here, with one small, faithful morning.